Hello good people and welcome back to another math video. This time we're going to be discussing the area of a triangle. This is our second video covering area. If you have not watched the first video that talks about just general area as a construct and the area of a rectangle, please watch that video first. Alright, let's get started. In our first video we learned to find the area of a rectangular shape like a true rectangle or a true square. We can multiply the base times the height so that the area of a rectangular shape would be equal to the base times the height. This is important to know because it helps make the area of a triangle formula really make a lot of sense. So if I have this perfect square right here and the base is 6 and the height is 6, then I can just do my substitution in here, 6 times 6, and the area of that rectangular shape, in this case a square, is going to be 36. Now, what if I drew a diagonal line like this? I think that we could agree that if I drew that diagonal line, that this part over here that I'm shading in now, if I shaded in that whole thing, I think we could agree that that would be half of the total square. So the area that would be shaded in red, that would make up half of the square. So what if I wanted to find out the area of just that red portion? Well, if I wanted to find the area of just that red portion, I could take the whole area, which is that 36, and I could divide it by 2. I'm splitting it in half. And that would give me 18. So that tells me that the area of this part is going to be 18. Well, let me think, what if I just wanted to find the area of that part right there? Oh, look, it's a perfect triangle. So I wanted to find the area of that. Well, how did I do that? Well, So we could find the area of that shape by multiplying the base times the height, which remember, that originally gave us that 36. But we only wanted half of it, so we'd have to divide it by 2, and typically the way that we write that is base times height over 2. So there you go. That's the magic formula for area of a triangle, base times height over 2. And just remember that the reason why that whole thing works is because we kind of are doing our base times our height for a normal rectangular shape, but a triangle is only half of that shape. So we take that normal base times height and then we divide it by 2. Let's try a couple examples. Okay, so in this shape we have a base of 6 and we have a height of 7. So if I set up my area of a triangle formula, I would have my base times my height, and I'm dividing that by 2. So now I'm going to have my substitution step. My base is 6 and my height is 7. And now I'll multiply out, and that will be 42 over 2. So my final area of this triangle would be 42 divided by 2, which is 21 square units. There are lots of ways to draw a triangle. So sometimes you might see a triangle that is oriented just a little bit different. And you might see something like this where we could figure out the base down here in the bottom of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh boy, I'm going to call that 8. Sorry, not a very good drawing. Of 8 units on this base. But the height is a little bit harder to determine because this triangle kind of does not go up and follow like a line there. So when that happens, lots of times on your drawing you'll see like a little dashed line here for the height. And they'll tell you what that height is. So for my drawing, I'm going to say that the height is 4 square units. 1, 2, 3, 4 square units. So sometimes you just might see the height labeled like this. We still use the same formula and everything. It's just a little bit different setup. So remember, our area of a triangle, we're going to have the base times the height over 2. Now it's time for us to substitute in. So the area of this triangle, we would have our base as 8, our height as 4, and then if I complete my multiplication, I would have 32 over 2. And for my final answer, the area of this triangle would be 16 square units. Okay, quick little recap. Number 1, triangles are like half squares. So that gives us kind of the reason for why we use this particular formula. And since the formula to find the area of a square or a rectangle is base times height, then the formula for an area of a triangle is going to be half of that, or base times height, over 2. Alright, so there's our formula. Area of a triangle, base times height over 2, or base times height divided by 2, and that's it. So, hope that helps. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.